Yeah, that's probably something I would do if I did it again. I would use less stimulants, and I would smoke weed before training, because you don't have that crazy aggression, but you have super focus, and you almost become like the muscle, what you're doing. I mean, I could do that anyway. I had super focus, but it would have been interesting to try. I use it now if I train. I do cardio, and I find it amazing.
I see a lot of bodybuilders who smoke a lot of weed now. What's your opinion in terms of that and the effects on bodybuilding, if it's negative, positive, or...?
Well, a lot of bodybuilders always smoke weed.
Yeah.
You know what's pumping iron?
Yeah, true.
Arnold smoking weed.
Was that something you did back in the day?
Frank Zane smoked weed. I'll tell you about my history with weed, with cannabis. I mean, when I was a teenager, I smoked weed, but I drank as well. And I preferred weed. I didn't really drink that much. But I saw it as a recreational, fairly mild recreational drug, but anyway, recreational drug, and probably not that great for me to smoke, as I'm doing bodybuilding now, and that's healthy. I didn't know wasn't really, it wasn't really like that. But anyway, I thought I'd better cut it out, and I was like a bit thinking it might, like, I don't know, somehow take my motivation or something, and I wouldn't have the aggression in the gym or all that stuff. So I cut it out, but it was still my thing of choice. If I wanted to relax, I wouldn't drink, because if you drink, you got to recover from that, and the next day you might not be good in the gym, where cannabis doesn't have that effect. So it would be my thing of choice if it was an occasion, a party, my birthday or something. Yeah? So it was always there, but low level. And then when I finished bodybuilding and had this, crisis, and started reading and looking into things, and I started picking up information on cannabis, which was like, wow, this is shocking even to me, like even to somebody that's been exposed to it. I know it had health benefits, because a couple of my friends were like second generation Jamaicans, so their old men was like come from Jamaica, right? Yeah. And in Jamaica they use cannabis for everything, like whether they smoke it or put it in a tea. It's a medicine for like anything really. But I kind of thought, it's a bit of the old wise tale or something, from Jamaica. And then I found out, it has so much... There is no single substance on this planet that has as many health benefits as cannabis. Not a single substance. Find one. And there's very little substances as well that is not toxic at some level, like... Joe Rogan made a joke. He said, no one's ever, in the history of mankind, ever died from cannabis. The only way that could happen is if a CIA plane was flying over above and a big fucking bale of cannabis dropped out of the plane onto your head. That could hurt you. Well, that's like the only way. So it's non-toxic. It's massively antioxidant to your cells. It's massively neuroprotective. That's right, neuroprotective. Yeah, you can find all this if you want to find it for yourself. I mean, there was a survey being done with professional athletes, NBA, NHL, NFL. Around 80% of those professional athletes use cannabis on a daily basis, because it helps them to recover. It helps them to focus for their training and for the game. So. Yeah, that's probably something I would do if I did it again. I would use less stimulants, and I would smoke weed before training, because you don't have that crazy aggression, but you have super focus, and you almost become like the muscle, what you're doing. I mean, I could do that anyway. I had super focus, but it would have been interesting to try. I use it now if I train. I do cardio, and I find it amazing.
The athletes you're referring to, are they all smoking weed, or are they taking it in a different way?
Either way, but most of them are smoking blunts, which is, I don't smoke, it's the cigar paper that they smoke it in America. A lot of players saying I'll smoke 2 blunts before I do a game, before I go out and play. It's all there, guys. It's not Dorianism. I'm not making this stuff up. You can Google it. You can Google patent on cannabis or patent on cannabinoids, and you see that the US Department of US government has patented cannabis for antioxidant and neuroprotective qualities, while at the same time saying that it's not good for you. The cannabis now, because it's been crossbred. It's not genetically modified or anything. It's just cross-pollination.
Yeah.
Cross-pollination is a lot higher in THC than it was naturally. So now it's about 25% THC, whereas originally growing from the ground in Jamaica or India or whatever, it's probably like 8%. So it's like 3 times, let's say, stronger in THC. And the CBD, which is like the more calming, that's a bit down, yeah? So people can get anxiety and so on from doing it, from the high THC. But there's so many different strains out there now of different, you have strains which are just CBD. There's a lot of different strains out there. So it's about finding what's right for you, or, it just might not be right for you. We were talking before, I said my wife doesn't smoke. Everyone's like, oh, Gal must smoke. It's like, nah. It's not for her. She don't like it, She'd rather have a couple of shots of tequila, and she's better off with that. So, horses for courses. And I've grown up around it, as I said. There's nobody in my family that doesn't smoke weed. Like my kids, my brothers-in-law, my ex-wife. Like, it's always kind of been part of the culture that I was exposed to. So, and now I know so much more about it, and now I've personally witnessed people using the extract, which they call Rick Simpson oil, because he was the first guy to kind of publicize it, using it to kill cancer. Yeah, you're not supposed to say that. You can't say legally, this thing cures cancer. Well, I can tell you, I've seen people do it. There was one judge that was online. He used cannabis oil to cure his cancer, and he was in tears because he said, I sent so many people to jail for cannabis when I was a judge, and yet I've used it now to cure my own cancer, and I feel devastated that I put people in jail for selling a plant that grows from the ground and has many amazing health benefits, as he found out for himself, and people are in jail for that. It's crazy. When I first went to America, I had to go and see a doctor, have a consultation, and then you take your picture, and they give you like a card with like a driving license with your picture on, and you can go to clubs and you can purchase cannabis because you're a medical patient now. But it's nonsense, and slowly it got easier to get that, and then okay, right, it's totally legal now. So it's just a matter of time. Does it have some side effects? Yeah, even though it's a plant, it's going to have some side effects for some people, and maybe it's not suitable for a young developing brain, especially high in THC. So nothing's 100%